everyone, Amber here. Today's October 3rd, which means it's Inktober. Today's prompt of the official Inktober was... what was it? Oh, bait. For those of you that don't know what Inktober is, it's a drawing challenge that happens once a year during October. The challenge is basically to go through prompts or just make art in general and use inks, pens, markers, that sort of thing. This is my first Inktober challenge, so probably not the best art I've made. Granted, my first two were much better than this one. This is the third day of Inktober after all. And while this one isn't great, I still like it. A friend of mine and I decided we're going to do Monster Hunter fan art for this prompt. For those of you that don't know what Monster Hunter is, it's a video game where you get to go hunt monsters. That's basically it. And you've got these cute, adorable cat companions that are called palicos. And you can customize them however you like. For this video, I decided to take two palicos and have them fishing. I used two palicos that I've had in Monster Hunter. The one I'm drawing right now is called Percy. He is a grump. The other one is called Cotton. And she's pretty good. She does what she's supposed to. I made her especially happy because she caught a fish in this one. Now, that's not the whole bait. As you can see, they are fishing. I wanted to have it seem rather innocent and fun, but have an unsuspecting monster from below. There's this monster called what is it? It's a fish monster, I can tell you that. And it's a land fish, which is creepy, if you ask me. There's not much to talk about with this. Again, it's just practice. This is just my sketching phases. I had a really hard time drawing Cotton. I wanted to make her be very happy and excited and sort of doing the excitement pose that they have in the game. It was hard. I struggled with her leg, I struggled with her arm. Eventually, though, I did come to a point where I felt content and it seemed to make sense to me. I became content and liked how she looked. I do like this drawing, even if it's not one of my best. It is rather cute and fun. And the point about Inktober is, it's not really to have the best art in the world, it's just to make something and put it on paper. And I like that. And it's been fun. I mean, if you want to check out more of the art I've done and see other art that I will do in the coming days of the month, you'll have to check out my Twitter because I'm posting it there. What is that fish called? It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. Oh yes, that's what it is called. The fish is called, the giant fish that is about to attack our poor little palicos is called a Geratodus. I know I'm butchering the name. It's a land fish and it is terrifying. And I did not do it justice because I can't draw fish. Granted, the little fish that Cotton is holding is rather cute. She got a good catch of the day. Fortunately, they're going to be the catch of the day if they're not careful. Yeah, I decided to have them on the little inner tubes that they're on are actually in the game, and the Halicos use these inner tubes so they don't have to get wet and they can stay out of the water. It's adorable. And if you honestly, I love Monster Hunter and I love the Palicos because they constantly make cat jokes, which is cute. They think everything's perfect. And I think the Palicos fishing was just perfect for this drawing. Oh, and here is the giant landfish. This guy is scary and he covers himself in mud and it's just terrible. But he's fun to hunt. Once you get him down, pretty good. It's a fun game. I don't play it as much as I should, but it is fun. For anyone wondering what I am on Monster Hunter World, if you see Animal Girl 314, that's me. If you want to add me, and if you play Monster Hunter and you want Monster Hunter World and you want to add me, go for it. For the inking process of this video, I just used some fine line pen that I had lying around. There's nothing really much to lining, it's just going over your initial sketch and making it look nice. You don't want to you're trying to keep that sketch from looking, you don't want it to look too sketchy if you're lining and inking when you do inking. Unless you like that look, of course. I personally don't like to make mine super sketchy. It just depends on the piece and how my hand's doing. In this case, I tried to do as smooth as a line as I could, depending. Her head is so... Cotton's head is so weird. It's at such a terrible angle. What on earth? Honestly, like I said, there isn't much to say about this piece. It was just fun, and I thought I'd share my process of it. To be honest, I don't even know entirely what I was doing. My friend and I came up with this idea at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I started drawing it at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was like groggy as all it can be. I mean, I'm lucky this turned out kind of okay. And here I'm adding the little triangles that will be the stripes. Ugh, he's so grumpy. And he's not happy because I figure Percy's just upset because he didn't get a fish, and Cotton's just over there waving it around like, look what I got, look what I got. This is so weird talking to myself. If you're wondering, I don't plan on making all my Inktober's videos. I thought about it, but I don't have the time for that. But I did decide that at least through the month of October, I'm going to take one video, at least once a week, make one of my drawings a video. And I guess my uploading date is Thursday it's either Thursday or Friday. I honestly don't know. As of right now, it is Thursday. Whether this gets posted today or not, that's up to future Amber. Oh, and here's where I am finally adding line work to that terrible landfish. I can't say the name, so I'm not even going to bother anymore. I had such a hard time with that thing. Eventually, I just took creative liberty and made a mess of it. I mean, in the end, it did turn out semi-okay. I was really inspired by Jaws for this. My whole goal throughout Inktober is to just make everything related to horror or monsters. I want spooky art this month. I don't make enough art during October. I find I don't make enough art during October, and I never get to make and for all the monsters I make, I never make enough during Halloween or fun Halloween drawings. I love Halloween because it's a time of dressing up. So that's my goal, to make fun, kind of Halloween, spooky drawings, monster-esque drawings. This one's a little different from my other two I made, but that's okay. And here I'm going in and I'm just going over and just coloring in some details and adding other things, thickening up lines, doing my best to darken up some patches, but also keeping it rather sketchy because I don't want everything to be too dark, and I'm using black pen only. I'm only using black and white pen for this drawing, and I wanted to make sure I had depth. I had different shades, not really depth, but different shades, which is why I used cross-hatching a lot on the fish, and some of them I went and darkened up everything, or I just went single lines, but I kept having them in one direction. Some had a little less pressure on the lines. Just sort of trying to get that definition in there to show this is several different colors. Or this is different shades of color. Here I went in with a Bic marker in order to because Percy is black and with a little bit of white. So I want to make sure he was fully black. And it didn't look like there was any line work, anything showing through. So I went in with this Bic marker, and it was able to just cover the whole surface and give it that nice solid black that I wanted. compared to if I had used my pen. He just looks so grumpy and he's so cute. I love Percy. There's something about this drawing that is just so cute looking back on it now. I mean, this is the same day that I made it. It's just been a number of hours, but I love it in its own way. It's fun. Here I went in with a white pen to sort of give a, like, highlight or just sort of help block out those solid black colors, because I wanted to make sure the head and the back ear were able to be seen and known, and that the front ear was, you could see the crease, you could see the arms and the legs, so they weren't all just becoming one black mass, and there was actually some definition, there was still lines there. I recommend using a white pen, especially for highlights and whatnot. It is a saver. It is a lifesaver when you forget to add your own highlights. If you can add your own highlights, and you can add highlights by using the white of the paper, that's even better. I struggled to do that, so I find the white pen to be a nice cheater's way. I mean, it's not really cheating, but it kind of is. I don't know. Again, for this giant landfish, I decided to just do a hatching like I did before. Some places got darker depending on the depth of it, or, if it was darker, if the creature is dark on those spots. But mostly it's just straight up hatching. I did my best to do wide line, close lines, but wide strokes in order so that it wasn't too streaky. And I think this was a good idea. In the end, it really helped. And then I went over a little bit more with some, to make some definition in some areas. I hatched a little bit more, a little harder. Instead of doing just a 2 hatch, I went and did 3 or 4 hatches on top of each other. And this just helps, again, to give that definition, to show that something's in the foreground or the background or has shadow. I also went and thickened some lines up so that pieces don't get lost in the fray of things. I also made the eye darker than I wanted to, so then I went in with my white pen to kind of lighten that up. The one problem with ink, well, I like using it, you can't recover from it. And that's part of the fun of the challenge. And as you can see here, I went in for to give an idea of the back of the mouth, I just did a solid black. Just to give that idea of shadow, like his mouth is, like you can see how big his mouth is. Again, this was a very simple drawing. I mean, it was hard for me, but in the end, it is rather simple. But I like it. And I hope you guys like it too. And you can check out my Twitter and see more of my Inktober. And also put a link below for my friend so you can see what she decided to do for using the prompt word bait. And if any of you haven't decided to do Inktober this year, I'd love to see your work. Comment below. Oh, that sort of thing.